Hey, so I'm in my apartment, technically a townhouse, and I'm trying to start a new segment called Tristan's Teas here on my channel. So, what I like to do on this, and this will be the first episode of the stream, is that I like to pour myself a cup of tea, and in doing so, I like to focus. There we go. Let's see here. I like to go ahead and start up my teapot, if it would fucking focus. Come on. There we go. My teapot, and I know I have a messy kitchen right now, but I didn't have time to clean it before this. And then show you guys of my various teas here, just one new flavor, and I'll introduce you guys to a new flavor every week or every time I do a video, however often that ends up being. So I don't know what we're gonna start with today, but why don't we go ahead and get our water started. So what I have here is, you can probably tell if I flip this camera around here, that I use quite a bit, all that calcium buildup, but when you boil it, it tends to just sort of go away. I have this dirty teapot. So while we are starting our stove up, that'll be boiling in the background, and what I like to do is figure out a new type of tea to introduce you guys to. So I have a lot of these loose leaves here. Got the De-Stress Hawaiian Way, Mountain Huckleberry. Why don't I try one of, how about this one here? Alright, so for today's episode, I'm going to go ahead and show you my superfruit. It's a loose green tea blend. It says here that it's a sweet tart blend of green tea with rich red pomegranate and raspberries. And guys, this is delicious. Flip this guy around here. So it gives you some instructions here on the back. I don't really care to pay attention to them too much because I can make a good cup of tea by now. Yeah, I kind of like the little landscape pictures that's on the front, and it's the same one that's on the back there. But yeah, I kind of enjoy it, and I'll go ahead and put a link, hopefully in the description at some point, to where maybe you could buy a pouch of this tea. So this I got for Christmas, actually, so I don't know where it was purchased. Let's see. It's a little faded, but you can see the brand there. It looks like Finest Trade Green Tea, the Boston Tea Company. Oh, that's interesting. That is actually really interesting. The connoisseur's favorite is what it says. It's kind of faded. I've had this, of course, since Christmas, and it's almost Christmas again. It's middle of September, so I got my pot here boiling. Sorry for switching the camera back and forth so often, but I don't have like an actual camera. I'm just using my phone right now. I just got the new Note 9, loving it. So trying to test out the camera with some live stream functions and stuff like that. So if you guys happen to see this video and you guys want to recommend me new flavors of tea and maybe even send me some, I will be happy to do that and give you the place to send it to. So then I can try new ones and review different teas that maybe you guys like and want to try. We'll see how people end up liking this. If people like it, I'll do more. If they don't, then I'll probably not. But you can see here that we have some tea boiling, water boiling. So I guess having this in the form of a live stream may make it a little bit strange for some, because they're probably used to seeing the cuts between, like, the boring parts, you know, the parts where they don't want to wait for the water to boil and stuff like that. So, but I think it's much more of an organic sort of style. And I may do some regular videos in the future, maybe some more video game stuff, because that's sort of what I have on my channel right now. Grand Theft Auto, Wildlands, Skyrim. Oh, I don't know if I've done a Wildlands stream yet, and I might do some Sims. I just got the Sims 4, so I might do one of those. I do them on my PlayStation 4, so they end up just being live streams because I don't know how to edit videos, and I don't really know how to take videos of like an entire hour or more playing a game, and how to edit it down. I have a Note 9, obviously, so I could probably find some editing software, but I don't have to pay for anything since I don't have a lot of money. And you can see here, really quick, as a side note, actually the main note, really, I was on a side note, got some steam coming out there. That's how you know that you're on the right road, right? I love using tea kettles because it always boils your tea at the right temperature. I used to use some pots, like that guy there, to boil water and then just pour it into the cup. One sec, listen. It gets louder, but I have a sleeping fiance upstairs. I don't want to wake her up. Alright, so we have freshly boiled water. We have a new flavor of tea. Let me finish what's in my cup already. We're going to get started. So, what we have here is a loose leaf tea. So if you see, oh, this stuff smells so good. I don't know if you can really see in there, but there's some loose leaf in there. So a lot of people do these a little bit differently. Let's see if I can't set this up a little bit so I can show you the cabinet I'm reaching into. Yeah, so it should be right behind me there. So my teas back over here. So what I like to do is, people have different infusers. Let me see if I can find them here, because I have a few of them laying around. Yeah, so I have one right here. I have another one probably over in my tea cabinet. So just like little infusers, things like that. And so my fiance bought me some stuff for Christmas. She knows that I love tea, so she got me this little tea kettle one. So these are all right. I like this one a little bit more, even though it's open top, because you can sort of set it inside the cup and then it'll brew the tea. But the problem I have with infusers, let me bring this down a little bit here so I can sort of talk about this without having to look up so high, is that when you're using sort of smaller leaf teas, like I have some really small little pieces in some of my Maui teas that I have behind me, my mom got for me in Hawaii. They just sort of fit right through these little holes, and you can see that they're quite, don't want to drop in, they're quite large holes, right? So you can imagine getting some really fine powder in there or some leaves, they just fall right out. And so then you brew a cup of tea, and then you have all these leaves all over on the inside of your tea, so that's not fun. So I don't tend to use these all that much anymore, but I have a solution. I drink tea often enough that I have these little filters. They work. Oh shit, that's probably too tough. I have a little kickstand case on my phone right now, and I like using it, but sometimes it just gives me the wrong angle, especially when doing videos like this. So it's torn apart because I drink tea quite often, but this is really, really cool. So they sell these at my local Winco, just down the street here. So it's a pack of 100 loose leaf tea filters. So they work basically the same way as a coffee filter, except for they're a little bit more compact. And they, let's see, how are they made? What are they made with? It doesn't say. It doesn't say. I guess people don't really care. I kind of do. I want to know if, what it's sort of made out of. Anyway, so they have a whole set of instructions back here, and so you can do it a couple ways, but let me show you the basic gist of what we're talking about here. So you get one tea filter, right? So it's very simple. You have just the one sheet towards the top, and then it's double ply and then quadruple ply down here. So basically you slide it, and it opens up a little bit there, if you can see. You sort of stuff your fingers there and then open it up. I like to take the back side with the extra flap and fold it over so it sort of stays open for me. Fall on my hand. Right, so then I can just use my little spoon, get my tea in there nice and easy. So the point of the single is then once all the tea's in there, you can fold it over the top, right? And then you can just set it on the inside of your glass, or you can also fold it like that and sort of wrap it around your tea. Get like a rubber band or a piece of string or something and hang it over the edge so that nothing falls out. I don't tend to have a problem. Some of my teas are kind of buoyant. I know that's weird to say, but I have a lot of different loose leaves, and so some of my stuff back here, like these, like the Dreamcatcher and the loose leaf teas, you can't see them right now, but they're back behind me, and I'll show them in some other videos. But they're kind of buoyant. So you put it in the tea bag, and then you have it just sort of draping over the edge of your cup, like so. But then the water level is all the way to the top, right? So then it sort of floats up and out of where there's actually the container part, so it'll flow right out of this hole and sort of out into your tea. So that's the only problem I've really had with it. So sometimes if I'm using a more buoyant tea, I will tie a string or a rubber band or something around it just to keep everything where it needs to be. And then of course it is plied down here at the bottom so that it can, you know, stretch open and get all that stuff at the bottom instead of sort of spread out through all this. So it's kind of a nice little thing. So let's see here. I want to show you guys this process, but I don't know how to get my phone to tilt so far down. My counter's all the way down here. Maybe if I set my phone on the counter. Let's see. Maybe, kinda. I have to stand back for that. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to use this angle. Come up with tips if you guys have for me for camera angles and stuff. I can get a tripod, but it's just my phone right now, so I might have to get a selfie stick or something, or maybe an attachment, because I do have a tripod, I just don't have an attachment to hold my phone. Anyway, so one thing I'm missing in this equation right now is a spoon. It's right here below me. It's my silverware. Basic spoon, nothing special about that. I don't even know where we got this, probably Walmart or something, because we're poor. So, depending on how big your glass is, so I have this. I don't know how big the glass is. It doesn't say anywhere on it, but it's from Glacier National Park. My mom got that for me. My mom travels quite a bit, so she brings me back mugs and cool things from the place she goes to, which is why I have a lot of different teas from around the world, especially like the States. So I wanted to get me some Mexican tea. She goes to Mexico and Maui all the time, and so she brought me some Maui tea back last time, and I wanted to bring me some Mexican tea. I wonder if they have some really interesting like papaya and mango flavors, because I would love that. I love the more tropical, the fruit flavors. And I love some more traditional stuff as well. But this is our superfruits, and we've sort of talked about the flavor profile already. So let's go ahead. Since this is a bigger glass, we're going to use a little bit more tea because there's a little bit more water. Right? And I like a bit more of a strong tea than maybe most people do. Get myself a nice little spoon of tea. Put it in my little bag here. Slide it all the way down. And that's another feature of the filters here, is that when you have a spoonful of tea, let me turn this profile to you guys. When you have a spoonful of tea, you can set your tea here and then dump it, and it'll all rest sort of on this flap, and then you can just sort of kick it and it'll all fall into the hole. I love these. These are awesome. Let's see. So I got a little bit in there. That's probably enough, honestly. This is a really potent flavor. So, but this is not very buoyant, so I don't have to tie it up or anything. I'm actually not even going to fold it over. I'm just going to put it in my cup. Make sure it's at the bottom. And fold this little flap over. Okay. Get my teapot. Pour in a good bit of water here. Alright. So now, that's my favorite part. Right there. Smelling it just after you pour that water. Because it hasn't quite got all the different scents in there yet. It's just got sort of like the very beginning of the infusion process. But I kind of like it because it gives me sort of a lighter scent than I'm going to get while drinking it. This is kind of a nice little change up. So I'm going to seal this back up, put it back up here in my cabinet, which you guys can't see because the flipping camera angle is awful. I'm going to put our tea filters back. Alrighty. Actually, I have another tea out here. I have a lot of tea. The cup I had earlier is this stuff I have in my hand, and I will show you guys. This is one of my favorites, but in another video. Put that guy away. Alright, so 13 minutes into this live stream, and I know that I have like 1 or 2 subscribers or something like that. Not a lot. But so I don't expect anybody to see this anytime soon, but hopefully soon. People who like teas will... Oh, I do have 1 person watching. Excellent. And they're gone. Okay, cool. People don't care. That's awesome. That's great. Ooh, camera angles, the worst. It's the bane of my existence. So, that light in the corner is a little bit bright, and I can't. Let's see, can I dim? Live stream on. It's kind of cool. I didn't know you could change filters after you already recording. That's kind of cool. Let's see. Okay. Get out of here. Cool. My cup of tea. And of course I'm right-handed, which is unfortunate for the video, because if I was left-handed you guys could actually see the stuff on my mugs. I don't know why they designed mugs to be left-handed. Like, I don't want to see it. I know what it looks like. I want everybody else who's at my house or around to see what my cup looks like, but if you're right-handed, then the only person who really sees it is you, unless it's a full wraparound. So, I don't know. And I might also do this thing. I have a lot of mugs. We get a lot of mugs all the time. Me and my fiance do, so I can try a new thing where every time I try a new tea flavor, I try a new mug so that I can show you guys some of my cool mugs and stuff, because I have quite a bit. Of course, this is piping hot, so we're going to have to set this over someplace. Maybe I kind of want to set up my table right now, but it's kind of a mess. My fiance made me some. Oh crap! She made me some pork chops. The other day, put them on a baking pan here, and they were amazing. But they got all black, and so they're sitting on my table here, all dirty. Let me move these aside. Set them right here, so maybe I can sit down at my table, so you guys can see what's happening here. Alright, and of course, once this series gets a little bit more fleshed out, I'll have a little bit better of a setup here. Okay, cool. So let's use this box here as a bit of a better angle. Kinda, so you can kind of see my cup. You can kind of see me. Got my water here. Another thing I can drink right now because this is just way too hot. That's the thing. I noticed the teapots, they sort of give you just the right temperature. So like I said, I used to boil them in just straight up pots. So I used to just boil water until they were actually bubbling, and then I would pour it in my cup of tea, and it would distort the flavor. I don't know if it was like burning the tea or something was happening, but the flavor profile of my tea was all off from what I know that I love about teas. So we got this teapot hoping that we could use it to make coffee and cider and tea and all kinds of things, and we do. Except for I have a coffee pot, so we don't use it for coffee anymore. But because I used to have a French press, so you used to have to boil water and do it all manually. But now I just have a coffee pot and it does it for me. But I haven't drank coffee in a long time. I haven't even had a cup of tea in a long time. I've been so busy with life. If you guys are curious about the things going on in my world, my tea world, my coffee world, my work world, whatever, let me know in the comments, and let me know if you guys happen to watch this during the live stream. Comment. I don't know. Can I see your comments during the live stream? That'd be interesting. Because now I did a live stream for Skyrim a while back. Not even that long ago, a few months ago, I think. And I had... It was not a subscriber, it was just a random viewer. Sort of a small guy like myself, a little bit bigger than me, actually. And he came to watch my video and said that he wanted me to do a challenge. And I did. And so he stuck around, and I could watch his comments on my PlayStation when I did my YouTube live stream feature on my PlayStation, so I got to see that there. But nobody's commented on this yet, so I don't know whether or not this has the same thing. I imagine it does. So we're just waiting for our tea to cool. What to talk about? I could tell you about my dogs, because I have two little dogs and a little cat. If you guys want to see them, I can always show you a video of them and how they play and whatnot. They're good dogs, yeah. Aren't you? Yeah, you're a sweetie. I could do some videos with my fiance. Maybe you guys would like to see her face and talk to her. She's pretty nice, pretty sweet, and really cool. Of course, there'll be more video game live streams coming. I'm playing The Sims 4 right now. I've gotten kind of bored with it a little bit. I did this sort of glitch where, like, you invade a household, right? Take all their money and kick them out, so then you have the house and you have all their money. So I've been playing off that, and I've been modifying their house and changing things up the way I want it, and so maybe I can do a live stream on what I've done, showing maybe the base version of the game, what the house was originally, and then show you the changes I've done, and now the value of the house now that I've put some effort into it. But I have a couple characters. It's just sort of low-key right now. I might get into it a little bit more. I only have a couple of expansions for it. I bought the expansion packs on accident, thinking that it was the game in addition to a couple of expansion packs, but it turns out I paid like $15 for like 3 expansions, and it wasn't the game, so then I had to spend the money for the game as well. So had it on that, I would have probably got some different expansions for it, but it is what it is. So, of course, then I also have like Ghost Recon Wildlands I can play for you guys. Love that game. I can play Skyrim. Really, any game that I have. Skyrim, Grand Theft Auto, I've done live streams for. And if you guys want to see more of the classic video styles where I actually edit stuff and cut things down, like this part right now where it's just sort of filler while I'm waiting for something else to happen, or tea to cool down, or in between like loading screens on video games and things like that, then I could probably do some more of those. Maybe I could use my new beautiful Note 9 to take some of those videos. Sort of, maybe it's sort of low quality compared to what you guys are used to. Technically, it films in 4K. I don't know how well that manifests when it's uploaded to YouTube and things like that, but we can investigate. I have a lot. I have a lot that I could film. Poppy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Is that Chancho's toy? Put it down. Yeah, good girl. That's not yours. You're too big for his toys. He's a little dog. I'll probably do a little bit of a live stream maybe about my doggos here. They're so sweet. You guys would love them. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe do some tech video stuff. I got a new pair of headphones. I got my new phone. I have this wonderful speaker here. It's not the newer one. I think this is the generation 3 of this speaker, but it is awesome. I love it. Cleaning around the house, just listening to music, doing dishes or something. It's just an awesome, loud, bassy speaker to have. It's got this awesome little subwoofer in the back that actually moves with bass. It's a beautiful look. I even took a slow motion video on my Note 5 back when I had it. I think I still have it saved to my phone, but I'll maybe film another one and see how that turns out. Because it's actually really kind of cool. It vibrates the whole house if you have it loud enough, or at least the whole table if you have it sitting on one. It's pretty cool. So, the only downside to these sort of videos, especially doing it as a live stream, is that, yeah, I kind of do have to wait for the tea to cool down a bit. But you can see, when I pull my tea bag out, I just have that one little piece up here at the top that has sort of floated to the top. Everything else is still down below. So these tea filters are great because when you have loose leaf teas that are really fine, they don't go through any little holes because it's literally just a mesh paper filter. So nothing goes through, just like your coffee grounds. You wouldn't want coffee grounds in the bottom of your coffee, and you wouldn't want tea leaves in the bottom of your tea. So I've had a bad experience with tea infusers. I've spent years looking for one that had small holes, or because I kind of like those clasp styles. You guys have seen those where like it has a handle and you squeeze the two parts of a handle. It's on like a spring mechanism and it opens the jaws of this cup, right, and then it closes down. The mesh on that was pretty good, but it was the actual where the two halves came together that was too wide, and I would lose my tea leaves through there quite a bit. So I had that one for a while, threw it away. My fiance got one that I've used a handful of times, and I didn't really like it just because I use really fine leaf teas. It works fine for some of my other teas, like my Earl Greys, and I have a couple other flavors, like a mango papaya from Maui that I really liked to use in that filter. But it's also kind of a pain to clean because it's just really small, and you got to get your hand in sort of sharp edges and stuff. So I don't use it all that much. I just try to have it sitting in my cabinet so I can see it and appreciate that I have it. You know, my fiance cared enough about my addiction to tea that she decided she was going to buy me something for it. So she's bought me a handful of teas here and there. My mom is sort of the one who gives me all the tropical stuff, the exotic stuff, and I like to get my more mundane stuff. Of course, this is mostly cheap tea. I'm not spending vast amounts of money on expensive, like, multicultural teas. My mom like I said, sends stuff from Maui, but I'm not, like, trying to go to World Market and finding, like, some Ugandan tea or some Malaysian tea or something like that. I'm just sort of buying what I can find. So this one, I don't know where it was harvested at. I could go, actually, let me go get the bag really quick. I think it said it already. So it was purveyed by the Boston Tea Company, like I said. So here's the ingredients. So it's got green tea, natural pomegranate flavor, and raspberry leaves. And it's also got raspberries in there. So yeah, there's little chunks. I guess you can't really see them all that well, but they're supposed to be in there. I'm curious, though, where it comes from. This may just be sort of a cheap brand, a cheap company. Maybe it doesn't tell you. I mean, it could just be coming from Boston. I guess I wouldn't think that they're really into tea stuff, but hey, maybe they are. After the whole Boston Tea Party, of course, I would think probably not so much, but it's been a few hundred years. I think they've got their shit figured out. Interesting. So I got a little barcode on here. I can scan that and put the URL in the description down below so you guys can try to find this, because it is such a flavorful tea, and only since Christmas. And you guys have seen how many different flavors I have. I've gotten down, this is a full bag, like to the brim when I got it, and now I'm just down to like that. So I have a cup of this probably once a week or so. It's lasted me a long time, because you don't really need a lot because it's so flavorful and powerful. But let's see here. Let's see if I'm cool enough to drink. Oh, perfect. Right on the precipice. I got that term from The Witcher 3 during the loading screen. I just thought it was such a cool word. I was going to say right on the cusp, because I like the word cusp, but I like precipice almost way more, you know. So I said I was gonna use that word, and I don't want to seem like I'm pretending like I'm some smart. I got it from a video game. I just like the word. Anyway, so that sort of folded over on its own. But it sort of works for drinking because now that it's wet there, you sort of stick to the edge of your cup there. So while you're drinking, it's not in your face like some other tea bags. One of the things that I like about tea is that I leave my bags in my tea. I don't know, not everybody does that, and I don't know. I heard that there was a difference between American tea drinkers and like British tea drinkers in that one of the two, and I don't know which of the two, leaves their tea bags in and the other one takes them out, and they both hate each other for doing the opposite. So I don't know which side I am sided with, but I've always, since I started drinking tea, I've always left my bag in. I don't know why. I think it's some subconscious thing where I like the last bit of flavor to stay in the tea as I'm drinking it. But that's just me. So let's have a nice little smell. You get the raspberries, you get the pomegranate, you get it all. We'll have a good cup of hot tropical tea. It's super hot. Autofocus, come on. I know that my cup is a little bit closer to the camera, but that is very flavorful. Very, very, very flavorful. I love this tea. What I like about it is that normally you don't get the natural individual fruit flavors. You know, like I have a mango tea, and you can't pick out the mango all that much. I have a papaya tea, and you can't pick out the papaya. But in this, and probably only this, of my flavorful fruit teas, can you pick out the raspberry? Can you pick out the pomegranate, you know? And it's there. And I love it. And it is a green tea, and typically I'm not a big fan of green teas. I have a few green teas. I prefer black teas, and I haven't really tried a lot of white teas. I might want to try some more white teas, but for green tea, this is a damn good tea to start with. I think it's a good way to kick off my channel, or my series with this tea. I'm gonna put it sort of maybe off to the side there. It's like a constant reminder that this is what we're drinking. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about the series here. I got a few more minutes of this. I was gonna try to shoot for a half hour because live streams tend to run a little bit longer, and I still have some tea to drink. So, have you guys? Let me know in the comment section down below. This is the question of the day. Have you guys seen American Vandal on Netflix season 2? Because I love American Vandal. Season 1 was hilarious. Season 2 is equally hilarious, but the main character, I forget his name right now. I just watched it last night. I think it's Kyle, something like that. He is a big tea drinker, like a tea from around the world type of tea drinker, and he's very crazy about the cup he drinks out of and the straw he uses and things like that. And he does this thing where he'll drink a tea and he says that you got to get as much airflow as possible. So this is what he does. Watch. What is that stuff? All actually, holy shit. That seems kind of dumb, but as a tea lover myself, that actually gave me a lot more flavor. That's interesting. It's a little ridiculous to do, but that did give me a little bit more flavor. The raspberry really kicked out when I did that. Let's see. Yeah. Wow. Wow, that kind of changes things, man. It's ridiculous to do. I probably won't do it all that often on camera. Refocus. There we go, right there. But it is kind of a cool little thing. He did it on the show, and I thought it was kind of dumb. But doing it here in real life with a real cup of tea, it does sort of bring out more of those flavor profiles. It's very interesting. So, oh, and another thing I could start doing as a series is like vape things, because I vape a little bit. Fiance vapes a little bit. We could try new flavors and stuff. We don't have a lot of money, so we probably can't try new mods out unless you guys send them to us, or maybe we can get monetized or something and get some cash flow so we can try new things and pay the money to have new things. So still got about a half a cup of tea here and about 30 seconds left. So hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. And I'll be uploading a video next chance I get, maybe tomorrow. Maybe it's a weekly thing. I don't have enough channels on my, or enough series on my channels to do like a once a week thing. So maybe it's once a day or once every few days or whenever I get the chance. But anyway, have a great day, guys. And let's see, how do I exit this guy? Not that guy, maybe the X? I do want to stop streaming. Beautiful.